What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast, episode 81 of the College Loop Podcast. All three of us back in here. And if you heard that intro, I think it kind of broke the news for us already, huh?
Hey, man, some big news for the College Loop. We are officially part of the War Report family of podcasts, the War Report Podcast Network, if you will. We talked about it on the War Report live show on Wednesday evening. We're a family here now. We're all brothers in arms, and we're ready to attack the day. Before we kind of go through it, I let Dylan, I let you and Daniel speak your piece. I do want to bring Colin up here real quick, super quickly. Because I want to throw a couple quick shout outs, super quick. We're not running any promos. This is no ads for those of you listening at home. First and foremost, okay, so Colin's replaced Daniel. That was wild. Okay, I was thrown off for a second here. Welcome back, Colin. First and foremost, guys, everyone just kind of give your little silent round of applause for our fans. And fans is a stretch, but listeners, you guys are the reason. And the we're here right now. We've got a tremendous support base, and I don't mean just in numbers. I mean an outpouring of support. You guys bought in from day one, and we can't tell you how much it means to you. Huge shout out to all of our families. Shout out to our intern Colin for buying in when we had no idea this was coming. And shout out to Ike and those guys over and Mike G over at the War Report for believing in us. We're so excited to be part of this family. Dylan, Daniel, I know you guys are on cloud nine. Colin, how wild is it that you've got to just kind of live front row for all of this?
I don't know. I've gotten to see you guys have some big ups in the past month or two, so it's been fun.
I mean, I think there's a direct correlation from having Colin and good things happening. I mean, I think there's just a direct relationship there. And that's why we've been so blessed to have you all summer. So thank you, Colin. You're banished. Daniel, how we doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Obviously, it's a very great day in the history of the College Loop.
That's right.
A day we'll be looking back on in a few years and be like, this is the day it all changed. I'm thinking back to the first episode where I was in my sister's apartment. I didn't have my mic with me. We were on Zoom. We had to worry about the 40-minute break. And, just to see how far this has come. It's June 28th. That was December 22nd or 23rd, something like that. Just to see how far we've come in 6 months is honestly nuts. I still remember the day that Harrison called me and was like, hey, we're doing this. I'm like, I'm in. And Dylan, to celebrate the occasion today, just for you, I'm wearing my Eras Tour t-shirt.
How did I know it was going to end with Taylor Swift?
We knew it was coming. Dylan, how are you doing? I get to ask you how you're doing today. How are you doing, Dylan?
Dude, that's a breath of fresh air, actually. Yeah, I'm feeling great. A lot of news still yet to come from this partnership, and again, cannot thank Mike G, Ike, all the guys, B. Will and Caesar, all those guys over at the War Report. And I mean, if you're subscribed to us and not them at this point, I applaud how rare your YouTube recommendations are, because they got it going on over there. If they have a wild fan base, and I think they're the second biggest Auburn podcast.
They are, and they've got it rocking. Go give them a follow if you're not already subscribe to them. Also, make sure you go hang out with the guys over at the Uptempo Pod, part of our family now. We were already buddies with those guys on a professional level, and now we get to work with them in the trenches, and I'm super pumped. You guys are going to see a lot of collaborative crossover work, and we're really excited about that. One last thank you to our families. You guys have had our backs, families, and Laura, your girlfriend Lauren, Dylan. There goes my laptop deciding it wants to have notifications. But Lauren, your girlfriend Dylan has been a tremendous support. Abby's bared with me through all this. I've been up at her place for weddings and had to step aside to record, and she's been a trooper through all of it. So that being said, boys, it's Theoretical Thursday.
It is the first installment of Theoretical Thursday. And just to mirror what Tarr said again, if you're not following us, go do that, please.
Subscribe,
ring the bell. But yeah, so again, if you missed last episode, we announced that we were changing up the schedule a little bit, content-wise, not video and audio and all that wise. Now Thursdays are going to be for Theoretical Thursday, where we're going to look at an alternate universe of the Auburn Tigers and see what could have gone differently, what could have gone wrong, what could have gone right, in the sense of Auburn Tigers. And it doesn't matter what sport it is, we will be answering a question. If you have one that you'd like for us to talk about, please leave it in the comment section below. But today we are opening up with, what if Jarrett Stidham decided to stay for his senior year on the Plains? And just to go through his stats a little bit from his 2018 year, bit of a down year for Jarrett Stidham. Can't really talk much about how the offensive line was just god awful for him in 2017 and 2018. And I think 2019 offensive line was much improved from what it was those 2 years. But I mean, Jarrett Stidham was one of the top quarterbacks going into the 2018 year, but everything just seemed to fall apart on a team that I think went 7-5, right? Am I remember that correctly?
7-5 with a victory in the Music City Bowl over Purdue.
Yeah, so the season ended on a high note by destroying the Purdue Boilermakers, but overall, Jarrett Stidham had a pretty touchdown-wise, he was the same. Interception-wise, he had one less, but almost 400 less passing yards, and he got sacked. I'm just going to count out how many times he got sacked in 2 seasons at Auburn. 58 times on the Plains. And then if you look at the 2019 year, that is the year of Bo Nix, where he stepped on in his first year on the Plains and was the starter. And I mean, pretty okay year for a freshman. 2,500 yards passing, 16 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, while also putting 313 yards on the ground and 7 touchdowns rushing as well. But yeah, I mean, rushing wise, there's no contest that Bo Nix is the better rusher.
Sure.
But Jarrett Stidham has some wheels. We've seen it before. He can run and gun if he needs to.
He's one of those guys that could take off if he had to.
Yes, 2017 Iron Bowl was a clear image of that when he rushed for 15 yards on a touchdown score. But yeah, to start off with, Daniel, how do you think the 2019 season would have went if Jarrett Stidham would have been the quarterback for the Auburn Tigers?
Okay, so believe it or not, I am oddly prepared for this because Bay Marks, friend of the program, a friend of WWEGL, and I have had this conversation 2 or 3 separate times. It's one of my favorite what-ifs in my time in the Auburn community, just because I haven't been there as long as either of you, so I don't have as much history to go on. 2017 was the first year that Auburn was on my radar. So what you said, Dylan, about the offensive line, I feel like that's your X factor here, because I feel like top to bottom, Jarrett Stidham was a more put together quarterback. Bo Nix in 2019 was a few months, about a year removed from playing in 6A in Alabama, which we're not in Texas, we're not in California. There's some really – hold on, don't give me that look. Or Georgia. There's some really, really bad 6A teams in Alabama. I'm sorry. There just is. I know everyone in the state of Alabama loves your high school football. That's great. That's beautiful. It's awesome. Okay? There are some sucky teams. Sorry about it. If you're triggered, I'm talking about you. So, yeah, just definitely not as put together as a guy who had Power 5 experience before coming to Auburn, had a Heisman-like season in 2017. Very, very good year, or not so great year in 2018. But
average.
I feel like that's
very
average. You compare 2018, like Dylan just did, you compare Stidham's 2018 stats to Bo's 2019 stats. Bo had a significantly better offensive line. So, like Harrison said, if Stidham needed to take off, he could have more. So, I feel like if Jarrett Stidham had stayed another year and played Auburn in 2019, you are looking at a college football playoff appearance.
Whoa.
Do you want me to explain that?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Do you want me to elaborate?
Yeah.
Do you want
to
go for it?
I mean, you have to. You don't have,
you have to. After that statement, you have to.
Sure. This is a team that held Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Jay Jettis, Thaddeus Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire to 23 points. Auburn had 2 chances to win that game in the fourth quarter. You have an experienced quarterback? Who knows? Who knows what happens there? Okay, the Florida game. Bo Nix throws 2 of those interceptions that just make you go,
Visual meme. He's rubbing his fingers through his hair.
Yeah.
Anxiously.
Does a more experienced quarterback do that? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's skip ahead to the Georgia game. Big old J.J. Wilson's out here wide open in the flat. Bo Nix overthrows him on 4th and 2.
Harold Joyner.
Oh, it was Harold Joyner?
Yeah, Harold Joyner.
Dang. I wanted to be J.J. Wilson.
They produce about the same. Don't worry.
Whatever. If Auburn converts on that 4th down, who knows? Everything else stays the same. That's 3 more wins right there. That takes you from 9-3, right, Dylan?
Yeah, 9-4 if you got the bowl game.
9-4 eventually, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Forget the bowl game loss for now.
9-3.
You go from a 9-3 regular season to an undefeated regular season. You go to Atlanta. Do you beat Georgia? Probably not there. But an undefeated SEC team, come on, man. An undefeated SEC team, or 12-1, 1 loss in the SEC championship game. You're going to the playoff. We saw it with the Georgia Bulldogs last year. So, yeah, I think if Jarrett Stidham stays in 2019, that team plays in the playoff.
And it's worth noting the one thing, Daniel, that you have not mentioned about this 2019 Auburn team is that freaking defense.
Yes.
You had Derek Brown, Marlon Davidson. You had
Noah Igbinoghene, Christian Tutt.
You had Daniel Thomas, Jeremiah Denson, KJ Britt, Jacoby McClain, Javaris Davis, Jamian Sherwood, Roger McCreary. Just dude after dude after dude. You had a young Derek Hall. You had Nick Coe. You had Big Cat Bryant for what he was worth as a backup edge rusher. Just dude after dude after dude was on this defense. And it was real hard for the Heisman winner to really get an offense to score against this defense. And
not just the Heisman winner, that team was loaded.
Yeah. That is borderline an NFL team. They got held to 23 points in Baton Rouge.
That was an NFL team.
And, yeah. I mean, all but one person got drafted, I think.
Yep.
Or maybe all of them did. But just looking at the thing that killed Auburn the most was an inexperienced quarterback. And maybe there's another factor to this team, a very, very underwhelming running back in Boo Boo Whitlow, who might have been one of my it's a little biased. One of my least favorite running backs to watch at all, just because I could not.
He was hurt half that 2019 season, no?
I can remember. The only memory I have of Boo Boo Whitlow is how many times he fumbled, and they made this whole thing about how every time he fumbled, his mom made him do 50 push-ups outside the stadium, and I was wondering how he did not come out of here looking like The Rock. But just looking at that last season of Jarrett Stidham, the offensive line just killed him, and he had no faith in his offensive line. But even the 2018 Jarrett Stidham knew how to get the ball to his receivers. I mean, you had Darius Slayton, 670 yards receiving. You had Ryan Davis, 546. And I believe the year that he broke the Auburn reception all-time record, correct? I believe I remember that correctly. Seth Williams, 534 receiving yards. And
you just had to go down this avenue.
What? And Anthony Schwartz getting 357. I mean, and all those guys got touchdowns.
Dylan just comes in and just steals my damn thunder, which is I'm actually pissed. I'm actually annoyed.
And you look at the 2019 team, and it was only Seth Williams. I mean, Anthony Schwartz got 440 yards, but Seth Williams got 830 yards, and after that, no one got over 300.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptic on an undefeated SEC team. I'm skeptic because I think you still find a way to lose. Probably to that. Well, not probably that to that LSU team. That team was one of the greatest college football teams I've ever watched play. That being said, I'm starting to see the college football playoff vision. I actually am. Even if you don't win the West and you get left out, I do get it. And the more I think about it, I guess I have gaslit myself into forgetting about that Florida game and the atrocious train wreck that it was. Because you're right. You're bringing back almost like non-flashbacks for me right now about watching Bo Nix throw a couple of interceptions. You're just like, where the hell were you throwing the ball?
Three interceptions.
When I said a couple, I meant a few. It's like
I'm really glad the Burger King commercial wasn't around at that point.
You're so right. No, you're right. The Whopper would have been in this whole thing. Yeah, it's facts, bro. I'm with you. And you certainly go to a ball game and win. Here is, I want y'all to buckle up with my domino theory. If Jarrett Stidham stays for the 2019 season and you win all but the LSU game, maybe sneak into the college football playoff if you get the Alabama treatment. And that's, people are going to be pissed off, but this is an Auburn-centric podcast. They're going to be pissed off anyways if you're a Bama fan.
Like I said, if it triggers you, we're talking about you.
That's right. Is Gus Malzahn still the head coach of the Auburn Tigers?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he is.
I think he is.
You back on Warriors.
I'm being serious.
You don't have a Gene Chizik-like collapse.
No.
And you get to avoid those Brian Harsin years too. So
well, there's
Jarrett.
There's that, and I argue that Gus Malzahn is probably still the head coach at Auburn today because you have a year of development of Bo Nix and probably a definitive red shirt.
Yeah,
that buys Gus a couple more years. This is my big domino effect theory, right? I mean, we're all speculating. It's theoretical Thursday. Is Bo Nix a Heisman winner at Auburn? I mean, there are conversations. I'm serious. Look at what he did at Oregon last year. I mean, there is definitive progression under coaching development. Do I think Gus Malzahn's ever been good at developing quarterbacks? No. But there is that wild rabbit hole you could fall down that, hey, would Bo Nix have benefited from a year under Jarrett Stidham? Would Bo Nix have been a 4-5 year guy at Auburn? Is Hugh Freeze the head coach at an SEC school ever again? I mean, there's a lot of – I'm not even joking. There's a lot of avenues, right? It's fascinating, and that one I want our fans' takes on and want our listeners' takes on. Fan's such a strong word. I hate fan behavior. Listener, I want your – if you're watching, you're listening, I want you to tweet at us or hit us in the comments. That'd be awesome for the engagement on YouTube because we're growing rapidly and loving it. But if Jarrett Stidham stays – and Auburn wins, well, that would wind up being 11 games that year, right? Does Gus Malzahn still have a job right now at Auburn? I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely because, I mean, the winning an Iron Bowl got him at least 2 years extension on anything. And if you're able to get in the playoff and knock Bama out of it still, I mean, we're presuming that the only loss in the season would be LSU just because that was the team of destiny.
I still think we walk out of there with a win.
I don't know. Baton Rouge, I think that defense, I think Kelvin still had it written up perfectly. He had the perfect stars aligned for that defense. I think that offense probably makes one or two mistakes to keep him out of the realm of possibility. Because you got to think, Bo Nix didn't call that 50-50 ball at the end of the first half. And a quarterback wouldn't make that call.
That's right. You're right. My mind's going a million different places. You know how I operate. Just to throw another factor in here. Another factor, should Jarrett Stidham have stayed and have this kind of success? Now, there are a million different variations and combinations of things that we've seen to that regard. But there are then serious conversations after that. Malzahn wins that 2019 that 2021 Iron Bowl because your quarterback is Bo Nix. Things have to be different. The dominoes are totally different.
The entire landscape changes because you have a playoff.
I understand. I'm not naive to that. But if you look, math tells us based on Gus Malzahn's track record that if you have that kind of year, the recruiting cycle is inherently better on its own, even with minimal effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
8-win team coming into Jordan-Hare under Gus Malzahn doesn't lose the Iron Bowl. Science tells us this. There is a formula.
We also win in we lose in Happy Valley still, and we probably kissed that LSU game goodbye just because Gus Malzahn did not win on the road, unless it was in College Station. So we win in A&M.
It's a very interesting discourse and fascinating. avenues to think about the domino effects. I mean, hell, here's something else that doesn't have to do with the on-field product. In this hypothetical, Alan Green still has a job.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many. The president of the university is never had a change in that hypothetical. I almost bet you the bank. It's crazy.
You got to think how it affects recruiting too. I think you have after the 2019 season, the recruiting took a very, very heavy
Certainly
180.
Absolutely headed in the wrong direction, but it's still a half-ass recruiting job from Gus Malzahn is better than the full effort we ever saw out of Brian Harsin.
We never saw a full effort, so that's
maybe we did. Theoretical Thursday. What if Brian Harsin was actually doing his best?
Auburn, I just don't think he was a good coach.
Colin,
SEC coach.
Colin just threw up a hell of a question. In that hypothetical, when Alan Green not being here, do the baseball field expansions ever happen without John Cohen being hired?
No.
Answer's no. Holy shit, boys! We just broke the internet. Like this is going to break the Auburn sphere.
But yeah, so we're in agreement that Auburn would be a potential playoff team with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback in 2019.
That's what I was getting at.
So again, look at the losses. You beat Florida, and you more than likely beat that Georgia team in Jordan-Hare Stadium because Auburn was in it up until they weren't in it, and then they were in it, and then they weren't in it anymore.
So before we move on, I just wanted to leave everyone with this. I arrived at the playoff viewpoint first, and these two both concurred. So
I mean,
there is a first time for everything.
Let's hang the Daniel Locke banner right back here.
Hang it, baby. You got space on the wall behind you. Hang the banner. Absolutely. And just to wrap that up, Jarrett Stidham stays for another year. Auburn's a college football playoff contender, and Bo Nix goes down as the greatest quarterback in the history of Auburn football. Continue.
And then just one
Careful,
more thing.
That statement got me in trouble.
Just instead of drafting, Bill Belichick still takes Jarrett Stidham, but in the next year, in the 2020 NFL draft, he uses a first-round pick on it. Yep, or he uses a second-round pick on it.
He would use a first-round pick for sure.
Just let me get the damn thought out. Shit, I'm kidding. And then that's his guy. Waiting on Tom Brady to leave, and then
Mac Jones never happens.
No, Mac Jones never happens, and Mac Jones is overrated as shit. And I just pissed off both the people I know in Alabama and the people I know in New England. So
this is awesome, Dylan. I love this segment.
All proceeds go to me because it was my idea.
That's right.
But yeah, you got to think because if Jarrett Stidham would probably finish top 5 in the Heisman race, he would definitely be in the conversation. And that 2019, 2020 draft was what? That was Joe Burrow. That would have been
would he have been focused or having fun?
Yeah, I think
he would have both focused and having fun.
I'm just gonna look up that 2020 quarterback class real quick.
Let's get focused on Auburn recruiting. Let's keep moving. We ate up a lot of time there.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna look through first round.
I don't really care what you're doing. I'm gonna
Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa,
that's kind of rude.
Justin Herbert, and the other quarterbacks that first round, and Jordan Love. So maybe the Packers take Jarrett Stidham over Jordan Love in the first round.
Anyways,
next week it'll be Tua Tagovailoa overrated.
Jesus Christmas. That was a conversation on the War Report Wednesday evening show. Anyways, per Cole Pinkston, Auburn is gaining momentum for 5-star linebacker DeMarcus Riddick, who is a Georgia commit from Chilton County High School in Clanton, Alabama. Number 3 linebacker in the class of 2024, number 3 overall in the state of Alabama. He's going to his announcements. Let me try that again. He's going to announce his commitment on July 22nd. Funny enough, I'm pitching for the Macon Bacon on July 22nd. Just letting you know.
The second biggest news headline to go on that day, hopefully. Or maybe the first, depending on where he commits. So that'll be the first or the second.
Well, I mean, I'll be announcing my commitment to pursue my master's at Auburn University after Butch gets the film from me throwing an inning for the Macon Bacon. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, but DeMarcus Riddick coming in at 6'2", 212 as it stands right now. Probably he's got plenty of time to beef up before he gets to the college realm. And kind of 6'2", 212. He's kind of reminds me a lot, and Tarr's going to love this.
Yeah, I already know where you're going.
Yeah, it looks a lot like an Owen Papo build.
My frame's the
Looks a
same.
lot like it. Athletic frame, growth potential, to add considerable amount of weight per Cooper Patagna on 24/7. He's a multi-sport athlete. He's athletic as all get out because this dude is probably going to be one of your pass coverage linebackers, and something that Auburn hasn't seen a lot of because, I mean, as we say a lot on the show, Owen Papo was not used properly as he should have been.
Correct.
And maybe that's going to be a theoretical Thursday that Tarr is going to try to pitch one day is what if Owen Papo was used correctly for the Auburn Tigers. But yeah,
I'm not going to try to pitch it. I'm going to pitch it.
But it'd be a huge pickup. Auburn's just gaining momentum on him. Anything can happen between now and a month from now. It'd be a huge pickup. And Auburn's panning in the right direction for a lot of recruits, one being 4-star wide receiver Mario Craver. Also looking at Auburn as his top option per On 3. He goes to Clay Chalkville High School in Pinson, Alabama. So another big Alabama recruit right there. And if Clay Chalkville sounds familiar,
are there like 9 high schools in Pinson, Alabama?
There's and they're all like 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Jaquan McCoy also plays at Clay Chalkville, so hopefully he can talk to his boy a little bit about redeciding on where he wants to go.
That's right.
Because Jaquan will be committing on Friday, so tomorrow as this comes out. Yeah, but Mario Craver, 5'11", 165, number 36 overall wide receiver in the class, number 14 overall prospect in the state of Alabama. Currently CB'd to Florida. CB means crystal ball for all you non-recruit fanatics out there.
You non-ball knowers.
But the crystal ball right now has a low confidence rating on it of 2. So I don't know. Why would you crystal ball a guy if you don't have confidence?
Yeah, I don't always love the way the 247 format's there.
I think you're just like, I have a feeling. All right, well, let's put it up then. Why not?
Allegedly. I don't know. I actually know a couple guys that work over that way, and I know that's not how it works. But in large, some of their features kind of feel like they forget to update stuff sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah, but 5'11", 165, definitely your smaller frame wide receiver. His pro comp is Cole Beasley, so not a bad comp, I guess. I would, but it'd be a huge pickup for a class that needs a lot of pass catchers in it. And right now, and you're hoping you're going the right direction for Cameron Coleman. You're hoping you can flip Perry Thompson, and Mario Craver would just be a cherry on top for those two right there. And let's see, last bit of recruiting news for football.
For the University of Auburn War Eagles.
Yeah. 5-star safety KJ Bolden announces that he will be attending Big Cat Weekend. He's a Georgia commit, or is he just a crystal ball to Georgia? I think he's a
I thought he was verbal to Georgia.
I think he's just CB'd. To Georgia. But yeah, it'd be a huge pickup. Auburn definitely in the realm of possibility of getting KJ Bolden and a few other guys that are looking elsewhere right now for Auburn. Auburn is going ham when it comes to flips.
Sicko mode even.
And I guess
Mo Bamba.
Last bit of Auburn football news. Just because we like jerseys around here. We're big jersey guys. Not New Jersey, huge jersey guys. Nehemiah Pritchett, Tarr's boy, is rocking the number 1 on defense while letting
Liberty rock real quick.
Liberty transfer Steven Sings the 5th at the edge rusher position is going to be wearing Nehemiah Pritchett's 18. And I have no problem with Nehemiah Pritchett wearing number 1. I have a problem when an offensive player wears the number 1 jersey. Let that be known.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Anyways, Nehemiah Pritchett's wearing number 1 for a clear reason. He's going first round in the NFL draft.
Yeah, probably after DJ James goes, but yeah.
Might I pose a theoretical idea here on Theoretical Thursday?
I'm listening.
So, Coach Prime's son, not the one who's the quarterback, but he is another one who films everything. And puts it on TikTok. And it's lit it's lit. And one of them was a team meeting, and he was like, "No one gets to pick number 1. I choose number 1 because back in my day, number 1 was that guy. So what if Hugh Freeze has the same philosophy and Peyton Thorne is that guy?"
Well, let's move forward with something else.
Bro, that was so rude.
I love that concept. I really do. I don't know that I'm ready to talk about that with Peyton Thorne yet. I'm not sure.
He has to win the job first. And I don't think
Robbie
Robbie Ashford isn't going to give it up so easily.
With the discourse around the quarterback situation that's still ongoing, I'm not willing to make that commitment yet. I would rather take our talent.
You don't have to commit. It's theoretical.
Okay, I'll theoretically agree to it. In theory.
In theory,
I just gaslit.
Not in practice. Not in practice. In theory.
So what you're saying is I got a verbal commitment from you.
That's not at all.
My CBE level is 3. Anyways,
I would say 1.
I would like to take our talents over to the hardwood, if that's okay with everybody, because
that
we
works.
got our ACC-SEC challenge opponents today, and Auburn is going to play host to the powerhouse that is the Virginia Tech Hokies, who made a valiant effort in their 19-15 campaign just a year ago and lost at the hands of Cincinnati in the first round of everyone's favorite tournament, the the National Invitational Tournament.
Hey, the NIT's lit.
I mean, I have a lot of fun with it.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry, wrong way.
the NIT was fun this year. Like, there were some really fun NIT games. Just
UAB, I wanted them to win so bad.
How about Rutgers? I mean, Rutgers had back-to-back just drunken games. It was
Let me take you back to 2019 when Norfolk State went in the Coleman Coliseum and ruined Avery Johnson's career.
That did happen.
I really wish when you announced who we were playing for the ACC-SEC challenge, I really wish you would have said playing Virginia Tech. Just a missed opportunity there, really.
Do they play Inter Sandman in basketball? Probably not.
Well, they won't play it in Neville Arena.
Not Neville Arena.
Are we still allowed to? Whatever.
Yeah, they're going to be playing. I didn't know if did you say the date or not?
No, I did not. Go ahead.
They'll be playing November 29th at 8:15 Central, and of course, Neville Arena.
That's right.
That's too late.
So, guys, I want to get your initial reactions here. I personally, it's kind of a fun matchup. I mean, I don't think Virginia Tech, anybody's super high on their radar. They kind of work the portal the best they can. The transitional state of the basketball program, really not anything to write home about and haven't been for the past couple of years. But all that to say, anytime you play a P5, that's going to be a quad 1 in most cases, can fall to a quad 2 if Virginia, depending on where Virginia Tech's kind of at the BPI, the RPI, things of that nature at that point of the year, and it's early, and you're playing them at home, so that kind of all hurts your quad 1, quad 2 wins. But a quad 1, quad 2 win over a P5 is never going to hurt you. I think it's a good draw for Auburn at a state of the season where you're trying to figure out who you are, what you're going to do. Not to mention you've got a good draw in hoop skipping, which is apparently Auburn's a mainstay there now, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Actually, Auburn fans should enjoy that. But you guys' initial reaction to seeing that Auburn will be playing Virginia Tech and come November 29, and where y'all's heads are at about how this helps or hurts Bruce Pearl's squad in 2023. Daniel, I'll let you go first.
Yeah. So, like you said, it's a good draw. I was very close to getting what I wanted. I wanted a team from Virginia, who also uses the color orange. But, whatever. This is fine. Is that the week after Thanksgiving? Yeah. So the students will be there. I really don't like these late tip-offs because, I mean, I'm getting old. But, thumbs up for me, I guess. I mean,
Dylan, thoughts?
I was kind of all or nothing for Virginia, but
yeah. You missed opportunity with getting Virginia because maybe they're trying to protect.
It's going to be an annual thing, guys. I mean, this is going to rotate out. Auburn fans will not forget.
I'm aware. I still have not forgot. I still have nightmares about it. I still cry at night. And what if would have happened if they didn't? Wink, wink. What would have happened if they did call the double dribble?
Onside Jerome.
But I think they got a good draw for what their out of conference already looks like. You're already gonna have to play Bronny and that entire USC squad that is packed, and that
team's gonna hoop.
Yeah, and that's gonna be that's gonna be a prime time game right there. No matter what, I think no matter game that Bronny plays in, it's gonna be a prime time. And then of course you have Indiana, who is one of the premier names in college basketball, and
premier teams at this point in their program. Yeah. They're in great shape in Indiana.
And is there someone else that they've already announced in like the Bahamas Challenge or something, Hawaii Challenge? I think there was like more teams, but right now I think those are the two biggest names that Auburn would be playing and going in the next season. And Yeah, I think favorable draw. You missed out on Duke, North Carolina, Florida State, Miami, Virginia, and you got Virginia Tech, and I think that's going to be a win for the SEC.
I'm going to go through the rest of the matchup super quickly because there's a couple of them that are interesting. Clemson and Alabama doesn't really get my gears going. Miami at Kentucky does. That's going to be a fun game. LSU at Syracuse, that RIP LSU. NC State at Ole Miss, that could be a fun one. Mississippi State at Georgia Tech should be interesting. Both teams kind of in a transitional period. Georgia Tech in year one under a new administration. Missouri at Pitt. That one could be kind of fun. Pitt made a little noise coming down the stretch last year. Missouri was like the Cinderella story of the SEC last year, outside of maybe Texas A&M. But their seasons coming down the stretch, eerily similar. And Mizzou found themselves right there in the NCAA tournament mix. And then day two, here's the one that everyone should have circled outside of Miami and Kentucky, Duke at Arkansas. That is a ball game, folks. I'm going to be making sure that I build time out of my day to go rewatch film of that because obviously same time as Virginia Tech at Auburn. Florida at Wake Forest. That could be a good one, a good opportunity for Todd Golden and company to kind of get their feet under them. Georgia at Florida State. It's time to find out what Mike White's actually made of because FSU is coming off a horrendous year and Georgia's in a horrendous spot. They're better than they were a couple of years ago. That's neither here nor there. Tennessee at North Carolina. That one should get the blood pumping. That'll be a really, really fun one. Texas A&M at UVA. There's one that if Texas A&M takes down UVA, a lot of people are looking really and stopping the ACC argument and pushing the ACC agenda for college basketball. That could be kind of a turning point for this is the premier conference, rather. And then Boston College at Vanderbilt, which feels like the two least relevant teams in both conferences taking on each other, which inherently really captures my interest, and I really want to watch this game. Daniel, go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to be as nice as Tarr. They dropped the ball. Aside from North Carolina and Tennessee, there's not a single game on here that I'm like, holy shit. Because Miami, they're not going to be what they were last year. They're just not. And Kentucky's going to be really good.
Matthew Cleveland would like a word.
No, he doesn't get one. This is
Miami's old as hell.
I don't care. LSU, mid. No, not mid. Bad. Syracuse. Okay, this is actually entertaining. Two disgraced coaches. I'll take that. Pitt, Missouri.
That
not even worth my time. Mississippi State,
mark
Georgia
my words.
Tech.
Pitt, Missouri may wind up being one of the most, if not the most fun game on this slate. Just saying, if you're a college basketball enjoyer, this game could be a ton of fun.
I'll keep that in mind. Notre Dame, South Carolina. No. Yeah. Okay. None of these games are like overtly terrible. There's just only a couple on here that I'm like, ooh.
It's just a draw. Like I don't know what the beef is here. You're gonna hate the women's one even more when we get to that here in just a moment.
I mean,
but
I just don't like the games. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know you love them, and I know it's like your baby, and it's like Christmas morning to you. But I just don't.
Yeah,
like
it is, dude. College basketball is to me what college basketball schedule release is to me what college football schedule release is to Dylan. Like this gets me my blood.
What's my equivalent?
Boston Celtics and Red Sox.
Red Sox Yankees.
That's not a rivalry. We always kick their ass. Shout out my boy Joel Embiid.
The Yankees are.
I'm not. This is kind of irrelevant and not ominous. But if Duke Arkansas does not get your blood pumping, I really don't know what will.
Or Tennessee, North Carolina.
I forgot about Duke Arkansas.
That's really good matchup.
Why isn't that on the list?
It is on the list. It's on the.
I'm looking at a list that doesn't have that.
So Tuesday, LSU,
Duke, Arkansas
Missouri
should help your feelings about this a little bit.
Yeah, the Wednesday slate's way better. I gotta be honest with you. Tennessee, North Carolina, A&M, Virginia, Florida, Wake Forest.
Be watching all of these basketball games, so
all at once, one might say, because 4 games are going on at 8:15, 3 games going on at 6:15 on Wednesday. Then you have 8:30 for Clemson, Bama on Tuesday, 8 p.m. for NC State and West Flanagan and Allen Flanagan making their ACC-SEC debut after the Ole Miss Rebels.
And it's time to break out more screens because you've also got on the same days the ACC-SEC Women's Hoops Tournament. That's a good time for us to pivot over to women's basketball because Auburn got their SEC opponents this week. And there are a lot of games to circle on this one, guys. Year 3 under Coach J, which it really does not feel like this is going to be year 3. It just feels like Coach J got here yesterday. But year 3 under Coach Johnny Harris. Home and home opponents only: Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M. Home only: Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Away only: Arkansas, Florida, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. We'll get to their ACC-SEC Challenge opponent here in just a moment because this one's probably going to grind some people's gears because we're tired of hearing the school's name. So your givens. You circle. Realistically, everyone knows you got to put a big circle around the home and home with LSU, and you got to circle your home game against South Carolina. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. What are you waving your finger about?
I think there's the bigger elephant in the room. A&M with Aisha Coulibaly.
I've got one too.
I'm done talking, Dylan. Thanks. I really appreciate it. What I was saying is those are your givens. Guys, what other games are we looking at? And I mean this respectfully. Daniel, you're going to lead off. What are the games you're looking at that should be circled as legitimate close contests that you can go in and actually win without a fluke?
I may have raised my hand a little prematurely. I have a pair of games here that we need to win.
Sure, go ahead.
When is the last time an Auburn women's basketball team has defeated the Alabama Crimson Tide? Since it has not happened since I've been a student.
Happened once when I was an undergrad, maybe twice.
I can look it up. Hold on.
All right. So this losing to Alabama and these other sports is not really healthy for the Auburn program in anything because you build a brand on, you've got football and you always will, but we've got everything else. Okay, that's all well and good until you don't have everything else. They dominated women's basketball. Softball's been bad recently. Gymnastics, other than 2022, has been rough recently. They got us in baseball this year. So, women's basketball is one that would be relatively easy for Auburn to capture because Christy Curry is not in a overly safe job space.
Sure.
The Alabama roster is going to be in some transition. I don't think they have Hannah from Homewood anymore. I could be wrong. So you really need to split with Alabama. Because if that's you don't want beating Alabama to be your measuring stick in women's basketball like it is in football. Because at that point, if that's where this program gets, it's long for Coach J. It's only a matter of time. And I love Coach J. I'm a huge Coach J believer. I know you are too. So those are two. It would be very, very nice to see a sweep, but you at least need a split. Now, your original question was gimmies, correct?
Not gimmies. I'm saying games that can be competitive or games that you want to circle. For me, I'm just going to throw one out there. Home matchup with Tennessee. That feels like a game, given the state of the Tennessee program and the upswing of the Auburn program, that you can be right there. Dylan, do you want to go ahead and drop in last time Auburn women's basketball defeated Alabama?
For fun fact, by the way, Auburn has a winning record against Alabama in women's basketball. But that's how they heard it there because last time Auburn beat Alabama was in 2019.
Yep, that's what I thought.
March 7th, 2019 in Greenville, South Carolina for the SEC tournament.
That's right.
And that season alone, Auburn swept Alabama what's it called when you beat them 3 times?
It's still a sweep.
Is it still a sweep? Three sweep? Beat them Tuscaloosa and Auburn and then Greenville, South Carolina that year.
But kind of back to what we were saying here, Daniel, I'm going to lead in. The Tennessee game feels like an opportunity, given the state of both programs, to say, hey, this is a good quad one win for us to pick up on our home court. South Carolina and LSU is probably just not going to happen. So games of that nature, Daniel, where's your headspace?
I'm really looking at away at Florida.
I like that one a lot.
Away at Missouri and away at Vanderbilt. Those 3 are kind of the ones I'm going to give you there. Home, Mississippi State. Just anytime Coach J plays the Dogs, the fake dogs. It's going to be a big one. That's kind of me. That's what I got for you.
Dylan, anything to add on that note?
So I'm looking at Ole Miss.
I was thinking that same thing.
I think that's a team that Auburn had a chance to beat last year, but injuries has got to them, and they beat them in January, but they didn't get the full sweep. I think you get revenge on the Ole Miss Rebels for beating you while you're down.
I like that. Your ACC-SEC challenge opponent is Clemson, a team that I know a lot of people are sick and tired of Auburn teams having to play in non-conference play, especially in big spots. That game will be on, I believe that's on the 30th.
Yep.
The 30th of November. Oh, not yet.
Also at 8 p.m.
Also, yeah, late tip.
This is nuts.
Yeah, that game is, you got to win that game. And there's so many layers to that, and it expands beyond women's hoops. One, Clemson and Auburn are pretty neck and neck in women's basketball. Two, you just grabbed a player off their roster. And three, it's a P5 non-con. And those are games you've got to start winning on a semi-consistent basis. And that's not me dogging on Coach J. It's just we're now at that point in the rebuild where we've seen tangible results every year, but it's time to see those signature wins occurring a little more frequently, right?
Yeah, and you can't forget that Clemson was the team that ended Auburn's WNIT run as well.
Exactly.
And you said neck and neck. I mean, 56-55 was that game.
100%.
And then also you got to add the fact that Clemson beat the softball team, and it adds a little bit of alcohol to the wound.
That's right.
It's a must win right there. And have they announced any more of the out of conference games for the women's basketball?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen any if there have been.
Well, this is right now is the biggest game out of conference.
100%. Oh, yeah.
And it probably will stay that way.
It will probably remain that way. Before we get over to baseball, let's see. Do we have a bag man today?
Colin, we got a bag man? There's a good cop out. You can say it's us.
Yeah, sure. That wasn't what I was gonna say, but yeah.
No, you don't have
to. You boys are the bagmen. Signing the big boy contract on the Big Boy Network.
We'll take the honorary bag man, but do you have a bag man?
Yeah, I was gonna throw it to
Hold on. It's time for in his bag.
In his bag.
In his bag with
Myersdorf.
All right, Colin, now you can go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna give it up to our boy Ike Irish and Chris Stanfield. I saw clips of Ike, and then I heard that Chris was doing it too. They both play it in the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's just some summer league up in the Northeast, and they're both tearing it up apparently. Yeah, but no, I saw Ike hitting opposite field doubles and running it out. The same way he was doing here. So the grind never stops.
It doesn't. These summer league warriors, bro. I know a thing or two about them.
Yeah, I bet.
I certainly do. Well, great bagman moment. I'm honored to be an honorary bagman. Really.
Colin, who was your last bagman? Was it Caleb Kim? We did that?
It was Caleb Kim.
I would say if I had a bagman, I'd also throw in Chaney Johnson in there, who's been getting a lot of love from Katie Johnson and Jay Will on Twitter.
Yes.
So look out for Chaney Johnson this season.
Katie was shouting everyone out the other day. He was Chaney and Denver.
You got to build up hype for a season when a lot of fans who don't know ball very well are kind of upset with the teams that were recruited from because they don't watch film.
Non-ball knowers, dude. It's unbelievable. Colin, thank you so much for your bagman moment. Let's talk Auburn baseball. Dylan, what you got for me today?
Let's see here. Going to baseball, Daron Schoenrock has decided that he will not return as Auburn's pitching coach next season, saying that he is going to go spend more time with his family.
First and foremost, I get it. I absolutely get it. Second, Daniel, your initial reactions.
Yeah, family's important. It really is. But it hits a little different to go spend time with your family if you're returning to them after a job well done. He was mid. I'm sorry. I'm sure he was a great guy. I'm sure he didn't tailgate people when driving. I'm sure he held the door for people. And I'm sure he put his grocery cart away when he went to the store. I'm sure he's a stand-up individual. his pitching coaching, yikes.
I think average. Yikes is a stretch. Average.
Well,
Average.
you know it's a problem when, and this is something that people, and this isn't me taking shots at you two, fine gentlemen. You're both very handsome and you know ball. But it's a problem when during a mound visit, it's the head coach or any MLB, the manager's going out there and not the pitching coach.
Yeah.
When I started noticing that was happening, I was like, what is going on? So I feel like that is about the point that this decision was made, and it was just announced today. So, Daron, I'm sure you did your best, but good riddance to you, and good luck, and have fun with your family.
Am I allowed to go ahead and talk about my conspiracy theory?
If you'd like, go ahead.
Yeah, I really would. I think this means Tim Hudson's back on the Plains in 2024.
He never left, technically.
What's up?
He never left. Lee Scott's in Auburn.
Yeah, that's true. His kid's out of Lee Scott now. Coach Rock held it down for a year, in a year that wasn't what Auburn thought it might be. And you battled the injury bug. You didn't have Joe Go. I mean, Joe Go probably makes you look better as a pitching coach, right? But
yeah.
But all that to say, I would be more surprised, and I have no scoop. I don't. But I'd be more surprised if Tim Hudson did not make a return to Butch Thompson's staff in 2024 than if he did. That being said, if that name's not on the table and Butch Thompson, for whatever reason, is a fan of the College Loop, first off, what up, Butch? Second off, we would like to submit Greg Olson as a candidate. I don't know if there's interest. I don't know if there's any interest at all, actually. but it'd be fun. And Greg knows ball, so well,
exclusive interviews with the with the pitching coach. Thoughts?
That's right. He's gonna teach everyone how to pitch around Barry Bonds.
Yeah, yeah. If you've not gone to see that episode or hear that story as a whole, yeah, y'all need to.
That's a good one. That's probably my favorite episode.
Yeah. Auburn would probably lead the SEC in most hit batsmen if Greg Olson's the pitching coach. That could happen.
When's the this is completely off topic, but it's still baseball.
You missed it by 2 weeks.
What?
You talking about the anniversary?
Oh no, we posted about it. Don't worry. We already posted. We did post about it. Don't worry. I was on that.
Like white on rice, yeah.
Yeah. When is the deadline to enter the MLB draft?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and we've not heard a single word about Justin Gonzalez.
Nothing official. I assume that Jogo will be in the MLB draft. Yes.
All right, so we don't know yet. Let's hope not, for hopeful sake. So just because it'd make me feel a lot better.
Who's to say?
But yeah, a little bit of softball news if we're down for that as well.
Sure, good.
Shout out to softball Twitter for hitting 100K.
Yeah, that's hard.
And Amelia Leck, the big transfer from Maryland, says she loves Auburn already. War Eagle.
That's right. So
I had to find a way to get everything to show up on this show.
Yeah, I mean, we really went around the horn for Auburn athletics today. This has been a ton of fun. That's all I've got. If we're good, Dylan, we're going to get out of here.
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening on the College Loop podcast. I'm going to let Daniel tell everyone where you can find him, love him, and support him.
You can find me on Twitter at Daniel J. Locke. And just to add on to the pile of today's good news, I haven't told Dylan or Harrison or Colin this yet. I meant to. I forgot. I'm sorry. You get to find out the rest of the world. I have accepted the Auburn Athletics beat writer position with 1819 News. My first salaried beat position. So just kind of a surreal day for me as a sports journalist. Not one I'll ever forget.
That's
so I really appreciate everyone who clicks on my stuff. Like I said in my tweet earlier, the three of us and Colin, we pour everything we have into this, and we love doing it for you. And thank you so much for your support. It truly means the world.
Well, that's big time, Daniel.
You can see my face on the show. That was I was fully expecting a Taylor Swift concert announcement or something along those lines. But yeah, big ups to Daniel. Did you say where you could follow him on Twitter?
Yeah.
Is that Daniel Locke, in case you're curious?
Wrong way.
There you go. There we go. He got it. Big time, Daniel. Really, really proud of you. For all of our previous listeners, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you've got the bell rung. You liked and subscribed already, I assume. If you haven't, then I'm looking at you. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. For all of our new listeners, welcome to the Loop. Super, super happy to have you guys here. It is our privilege, our pleasure, and we enjoy bringing content to you like this all the time. Make sure you follow along. Like I said, like, subscribe, ring the bell here. Make sure you follow along with all of our friends over at the War Report. That's at the War Report on YouTube. Check out our friends over at the Up Tempo Pod. That's at Up Tempo Pod on the Bird app as well. I'm Harrison Tarr at by Harrison Tarr on the Bird app. If you want to check out any more of my horrendous takes, they are all right there. Got a couple new things coming for you. Got a lot of exciting stuff over at the War Report. Super excited for that. And we will be able to kind of give you guys a little more insight as things get a little bit more public, but we're really, really pumped. Dylan, let's get out of here and go to bed.
Yeah, so I'm Dylan Larck at You Boy the Tank on Twitter. If you're watching, it's right there, right there. The Daniel, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, Daniel. And if you also, you can scroll down, and while you're scrolling down, make sure to go see our links down there. You can go copy and paste those. You can also like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your questions. Leave your theoretical Thursday responses. Just anything you want to talk to us about. Anything, we'll be free to respond.
We give life advice too.
Yeah,
and barbecue takes.
We definitely take barbecue takes as well. I would not directly ask us for life advice.
I would, but ask me.
But yeah, of course, as Tarr said, go follow War Report if you haven't already. And I'm shocked if you're following us and not them. That would bewilder me. And of course, the Up Tempo Podcast as well. But yeah, if you want to follow us, you got us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, of course, here on YouTube, where you can like, comment, and subscribe yet again. And of course, TikTok. Daniel
should be coming your way tomorrow.
Should be coming over tomorrow.
Shout out
today.
On us.
Today, as this comes out, actually. And if you want to listen to us, of course, you have us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, or pretty much everywhere you get your podcasts. But with all that being said, it's been the College Loop podcast.